My very best tip is to be very confident about the health benefits of intermittent fasting and what your why. Know your why. If you are really grounded in the health benefits that you're going to have long term and that you're doing this, yeah, it's a great way to lose weight. But if you're like, I'm just doing it because I want to lose the weight, I mean, then people may be more likely to give you a hard time because but if you're like, I am doing this for the health benefits and here are the health benefits and here's what, the longevity benefits and I'm going to, keep from having insulin resistance and metabolic syndrome. And I'm going to keep from having, all these metabolic issues that come with aging when we're not taking great care of our bodies. If you really understand the profound health benefits, cardiovascular benefits, neurological benefits, then it really doesn't matter what someone else's uninformed opinion is. If someone's like, I heard fasting was bad, you're kind of like, well, bless your heart. Thank you for sharing. I mean, you don't care. When you understand how good fasting is for your body, I don't care what someone tells me about it. It's not going to shake my confidence. So again, that's being super duper educated as someone who's doing it. If you're just kind of dabbling, you don't know why, and your friend told you about it, and you're just like, well, I'm doing it. I heard it was good, but I don't really know. I'm not really sure. Then you're not going to be confident. Then then you might want to keep it to yourself, because if someone's able to say, yeah, but I heard that wasn't good for you, then you're going to be like, oh my God, it might not be good for me. Maybe I'll stop. But when you're really, really confident that it is a healthy way to live and you understand, that article from the New England Journal of Medicine that Dr. Mark Mattson released in 2019, if you just had that only, and I have a copy of it. If you go to jenstevens.com, I have a blog post where it's linked to that, but anybody could find it. Just Google Mark Mattson, New England Journal of Medicine 2019. If you just read that article and have a copy of it, and anytime you start feeling those doubts, go back and read that article. I mean, you're not going to have the doubts anymore, and you're not going to care what someone else said. It would be kind of like if you were at a family dinner and crazy Uncle Joe was like, I heard oxygen is bad, you shouldn't breathe. You'd be like, crazy Uncle Joe, that's so stupid. Oxygen is important. You need to breathe. You wouldn't even care that Uncle Joe told you to stop breathing because that's dumb. So when you understand something is good for you, you don't care what anyone is going to say about it. That's really my best advice. So I feel like we should live our lives without apologizing. I eat the foods that make me feel good in a time that makes me feel good in a way that I believe is going to help me age better. And so I don't need to hide it, apologize for it, or lie about it. Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense. And I think that's a great first step, at least, right? Is to understand some of the benefits, to make sure you do understand a few of the health benefits, not just weight loss.
Right.
And then be able to explain that to other people.
Here are 3 to 5 health benefits. Really, you don't have to defend it. That's another important thing. You don't have to go through your life defending intermittent fasting to people who might be naysayers about it. It doesn't matter if they don't think you should do it. It literally doesn't matter what they think, because it's good for you and it's healthy. You do not have to convince them. You know what will convince the naysayers? When they see you 5 years from now and you still look amazing and you feel great, then they're going to be like, that crazy thing you were doing that I said was bad, tell me a little more about it. They're going to want to know eventually when they see how great you're looking and feeling, because you just have a different vibrancy and health about you. That intermittent fasting glow, we like to call it. So nothing is more persuasive than you modeling excellent health.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you. You don't have to convince, your friend that you see twice a month, and you don't have to convince some troll on the internet. That's for sure. Right. No reason to engage with that. But I guess let's bring that a little closer to home. So let's say it's your spouse. Or your wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, maybe you want to kind of get them on board so they'll be supportive. So
that's when you share the resources. I would pull out that New England Journal of Medicine article again and say, look, I know you like for me, look, I did everything crazy and wacky. So it's no surprise that for the first few years, maybe that I was doing intermittent fasting, the people that were closest to me were like, well, that's just Jen. She's doing something else weird. Over time, they stopped questioning it, of course, when they saw how it went. But, with the people close to you, share the good stuff, share the science. Say, I know you think I've tried a lot of wacky things and I understand I have, but this is the New England Journal of Medicine. Maybe you don't want to take it from me. Take it from Dr. Mark Mattson. Read what he has to say. And I will be happy. This really helps a lot with people that are close to you and naysayers. Say, I will be happy to talk about it with you more once you've read this. And then that's it. And if they just want to go blah, blah, blah on and on about it, say, look, well, have you read it? And if they haven't, say, well, I can't talk about it with you until you've read this resource. Once you've read this, I would love to talk about it with you more. And I just think, that once they're educated and they've read it, it's hard to argue with that.